Welcome, my name is John Pearson, and you are joining the introductory course to Association Leadership Essentials. We call it the Leadership and Management Core Competencies for Building and Sustaining a Membership-Based Christian Organization using the most effective association model. Now that's a mouthful, but if you follow along on your written notes and use the PowerPoint, we ought to stay together. I've got 6 purposes for this course, and you can see them on the PowerPoint. Introduce the essentials and basic building blocks of effective association leadership and management. Measure your association if you're involved in an association or a World Evangelical Alliance, National Alliance. If you're involved in that, you can measure your association against the best practices of associations. Number 3 is you'll develop a philosophy of association leadership. 4, you'll explore the core competencies required of association leaders in addition to your staff members, board members, and key volunteers. We're going to give you a package that you can use to take back to your team members, and so there ought to be a lot of life out of this course. The 5th thing is you're going to understand the 5 basic association operating models. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We're going to get into that in a future lesson. But I'm going to help you, I hope, discern the best one for your association. Lastly, we're going to give you lots of takeaway practical association tools and templates. And number 7, of course, the big one, we're going to have fun. I think you're going to be surprised how much fun this online course is going to be. I can't stand it to be boring, just talking head like this. So I've got some surprises up my sleeve, and I hope you'll add to it in our forums. We're going to go over in detail the things that you're going to learn as we get through each of the lessons. And I just want to make these couple of notes. First of all, there are 2 courses. One is Association Leadership Essentials 401, the course you've signed up for now. Hopefully you'll then be motivated and inspired along with other team members to take the 402 course, which gets into more of the details. We'll drill down further. Each course includes 10 sessions, and that's 3 lessons per session. So 10 times 3 is 30 lessons. That's a lot of PowerPoints and video, but I pledge to really make it worth your while. So this is Session 1, Lesson 1, and of course it's brought to you by World Evangelical Alliance and the WEA Leadership Institute. And just this little commercial, the mission of the WEA Leadership Institute is to strengthen national alliances through effective leadership development programs in every member country. Right now, as this course is being taped, there are 121 national evangelical alliances worldwide organized under 7 regions. And our bold vision, we'll talk later about a BHAG, a big, holy, audacious goal. But our bold vision is by 2014, we see viable and sustainable leadership development programs in every one of our 121 member countries, and there will likely be many more countries by 2014. I hope you don't see this really as a commercial for the course, but really as a wild possible vision for what could happen if leaders in every country of WEA take their leadership role responsibly. Now, in this course, Association Leadership Essentials 401, there are 10 sessions, as I said, and I just want to outline for you those 10 sessions as way of introduction. We're going to talk, first of all, about the purpose and function of associations and how associations are different than a local church, a denomination, or a Christian association. And trust me, you will be surprised by the differences, and I think you'll be encouraged to see the unique role that an association could have. Secondly, the second session, with 3 lessons each, the core competencies and operating models. Here we'll get into those 5 operating models from an association that looks more like a business to an association that has experts on staff to an association that says maybe we're really good at facilitating and connecting our members together. I'll give you some tools that you can discern what would be the best model for your current association or alliance at the stage you're at. Number 3, we'll talk about board governance and what is the right way to be accountable. The 4th session is about the membership categories and trying to figure out who, as the Austrian management consultant Peter Drucker said, who's your primary customer. Then we'll talk about what everybody wants to talk about, but you have to wait till the 10th session, growing the membership. Following that, number 6, products, programs, and services. If you needed to know 3 words from this first lesson, it's products, programs, and services. Virtually everything that you do as an association falls under one of those 3 categories, but many times we have dead horses, sacred cows, occasionally what we call cash cow in North America, and we'll talk about those. Then number 7, strategic planning. Number 8, member research, marketing, and branding. How do you get everybody on your team to give the same message about what your association has been called by God to do? Then number 9 is totally about vision. What is your big, holy, audacious goal? What do you hear from God that He's asking you to do? And then last, what are the leadership and management essentials? I call them the buckets that relate to making all of this work. And we'll have a good time at that. Now, our community on this particular course, those that have signed up for it, includes all of you as well as me. And part of the early assignment is for you to get acquainted with each other so that we can really kind of figure out where everyone's coming from. Different cultures, different countries. This is not a North American course on association management. It's a global course because we're all going to contribute to the value. But let me just tell you a little bit about myself. I've had the privilege and the sobering privilege of leading 3 associations over a period of 25 years. The first experience, I was a young camp director and then was invited to be the leader of the Christian Camping International USA, which has changed its name to Christian Camp and Conference Association. Then I was privileged to be the first president of Willow Creek Association out of Willow Creek Community Church in the Chicago area. And then I had 11 wonderful years at Christian Management Association. That's now called Christian Leadership Alliance. For some reason, 2 out of the 3 associations I've served, they've changed the names on me. But I've also had the privilege with my wife many times of visiting over 20 countries. I've taught leadership there, worked with association leaders, and so I'd like to think that I'm not just a North American guy, but I do have a sense of the global challenges. I'm a member of the American Society of Association Executives, and in my real life, I'm a consultant, a management consultant to ministries and associations, nonprofit organizations. I'm an author. I'll tell you a little bit more about my book on management buckets. I'm a husband. I'm a grandpa to 5 grandchildren, and I'm a golfer, but that's I don't do that very well at all. I've listed my websites on the PowerPoints, and you can go to those if you are interested in knowing more about me. But I'm very interested in knowing more about you. And so let's begin. And I want us to be praying without ceasing during this time. But for right now, let me just ask you to stop the tape, take a moment to pray that God would honor the work that you're going to do in this course. If you've got the tape back on now, then heed King David's remarks to Solomon when David gave him the blueprints to the temple. This wonderful verse in 1 Chronicles 28:20 in the Living Bible, David says, "Be strong and courageous and get to work," he says to Solomon. "Don't be frightened by the size of the task, for the Lord my God is with you. He will not forsake you." So stop listening now and start learning. And when you go to the website, you'll see lesson 1.1a, the worksheet, ways that we're going to get acquainted in this course, and then lesson 1.1a, the forum. I've got some questions there for you as a way to get acquainted. And when you've done that, then come back and take the second part of this session, and we'll be done with session 1, lesson 1. Thanks.